I definitely transitioned to like being extroverted because I figured out that I have a big fear of missing out. So I used to like stay in my room and study, but then I know if I'm staying in my room and studying, like I have other friends who are out like going to the dining hall or like, and like, I was like, oh, what if I miss like some inside joke? And then for the next whole semester, like they're making this joke that I don't get. Like there's like legitimate like things that I had that I was like, oh my gosh, like what if I'm not like privy to some like joke or something?
Right. So what are you afraid of with that he's gonna miss out if you don't help him?
So I guess like with learning communities, like they constantly push that like the reason it's like I'm a GA for learning community programs, and they constantly have us tell our like LCLs, like the peer mentors in our office, that if your students don't bond, they're more likely to like not come back for next semester. But if like people make bonds and make friends in the first semester of college, they're more likely to return for the second semester. And if they return for the second semester, they're 83% more likely to finish OU with a 4-year degree. So like knowing that and like knowing that like, I don't know, I guess I wish that like I could be his LCL or his RA and make him like bond with people. And then also like being like supervising peer mentors and supervising RAs before, I kind of had this like weird spot where I'm like, I wish Timmy had like the perfect LCL, because like my LCL like got me involved in a student organization and we like still keep in touch. She ended up being a GA for learning communities. She like helped me with my classes and everything, and then like his like is, I don't know, she's kind of lackluster. Yeah, so I have this weird position of just like I want Timmy to have all the benefits I had, and then I don't know.
So if you knew that there was another student that wasn't so close to you, how, and that they didn't have a good LCL, how would you approach that and getting them connected with other people?
So if their LCL wasn't great, I would probably try to help them connect with students in their like other classes, because the way that learning communities work is you have like a UC 1900 seminar if you have a decided major, and then you have 2 to 3 other prescribed classes. So like say there are 20 kids in your LC, there are 30 kids in the class, so 10 of them aren't. So trying to help them bond that way. Also, I think part of the issue is like, so Timmy's learning community and his RAs like put on programs and stuff, obviously, it's part of their job. But Timmy works a job, Timmy's in Student Senate, so like he isn't devoid to those things. And I don't know. I'm kind of in this fear of like, oh, like it's week 7, so if he hasn't went to enough RA programs and like connected with his floor section, like they're already friends now. Like what if like they are all friends and they don't need anyone else type thing? Because like I don't know. I have a similar issue. So like I came in mid-year as an RA and an ARD, so trying to connect with like a staff mid-year, and those are like people who like are trained to help people bond, and like so I know how hard it was to like become an RA mid-year, so then trying to like connect with like an already connected group of like students mid-year like would be rough.
Right.
Which I mean, I guess like he's already there, but like he's not like, I don't know. I was at every RA program. I was like the model resident.
Are there other students, not necessarily freshmen,
Right,
that you know that don't go to RA programs but are still successful in school?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. So like I know that like I've had residents who didn't come to my programs because they like connected other places, and that like as like an RA, I was like, this is great. Like I like makes my job easier because I already have a support system. But now I'm just kind of like, I want him to have all the support systems. Yeah. So I guess like if I talk about it and rationalize, it's a lot easier for me to say like Timmy's in a good place, like he's good. But in my head I'm constantly like, oh no, he like has to do this thing for a class project, so he's missing this Halloween floor meeting. What if he doesn't hear something and ends up like getting documented, and like
Right.
Yeah. I just like it spirals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you notice that this is a reoccurring pattern in your life, not just with him going to college, like that you've like consistently tried to push him into things?
So before I left for college, me and him weren't necessarily as close. It was, I mean, because we, like, he was involved in different stuff than me, and we bonded a lot from me being away. So like, whenever I came back, like, because I was gone, he, like, wanted to, like, he, like, idolized me and stuff because I went to college. So I think this is a relatively new thing. I definitely see it falling into other parts of, like, it's like, I want Timmy to be successful, and I know that, like, in my definition, I'm successful, so he should do the same things that I'm doing. Which I know, like, isn't necessarily true, but, like, I don't know how else to measure success in college aside from, like, me. Because, like, my parents didn't go to college, none of my relatives did.
Right.
So.
How do you think that this may affect him, kind of like helicoptering over him and making sure that he's doing certain things? How do you think that that will affect him going into?
I mean, it definitely can stunt his growth, and that's what I'm worried about. So that's why I keep trying to, like, take a step back, but it seems like every time I take a step back, he doesn't. So, like, basically, if I don't push him, he doesn't push himself, because so that, like, he kind of stagnates, and then I have to, like, okay, let's, like, get on this, because I know with his classes and stuff, he doesn't study as much as he should. He doesn't. So, like, on one of his math tests, he ended up getting, like, a 40%, and I was like, why didn't you go to, like, supplemental instruction? And then he was like, well, like, no one told me to. I'm like, but yeah, so I'm trying, like, I keep, like, taking a step forward, like, giving him more autonomy, and then something messes up, and I'm like, okay, it's two steps back now.
So I know that a lot of times in classes, like, we learn about how important it is to fail, to have small failures, and how you almost grow more from that than from successes. I know that you're afraid of him failing, but do you think that, like, that would really be beneficial for him to, like...
I mean, I know in theory it would be good for him to learn, and it's a learning experience. I know that if this was a resident or a staff member that I'm supervising, I would definitely say, like, let them do their own thing. They can, like, once, like, they fail, you can